Hello, everyone. It's time for Vanished Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanis. This is episode 390, season 16. Today's date is December 7th, 2024, and welcome to the show. On today's show, I'll do a special program. I will talk about my recent health status. I know a lot of people are tired of hearing about that, but this is very, very important to me. And I will explain the whole story. I posted it on Facebook for the past few days, but you'll get the whole enchilada here. Okay. Also, I will read off a sales advertisement from Children's Bargain Town. It's from November 29th, 1969. And I'm going to read what toys were on sale that time. Oh, it's going to be fun. You might remember some of them. I checked there's no board games. I wish there was, but, maybe there are. But I didn't check the whole thing, so we'll see. Okay. Right now, the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by True Value Hardware Store. And this is a Christmas commercial. And it's from 1977. And it features Lee Phillip. You may remember her. So sit back and relax. And I'll be right back, folks. Thank you.
During the Yuletide season, the world seems brighter and happier as families, friends, and neighbors experience joy, hope, and peace. It's a time of happy sounds, traditional carols, and greetings of friends and neighbors. True Value hardware dealers throughout the nation join the True Value hardware dealer in your neighborhood to thank you for your patronage during the past year and wish you all the joys of this holiday season.
Okay, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for True Value Hardware Store. It was a Christmas commercial from 1977. And the voiceover was none other than Lee Phillip. You may remember her. She had a talk show. I think it was Noon Break. She was on television since the late 50s, all the way through probably the early 80s. Lovely lady. I remember watching her. Also, my mom liked her a lot. She used to love watching her. It was either that or Bozo Circus, which she sort of despises to this day, because I was watching it as a younger child. I don't want to go into that. Anyway, her full name was Lee Phillip Bell. You may know her husband was William Bell. I believe that's his name. He created The Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful. So he was a soap opera writer. And then they moved to California. Their daughter, Laura, Laura Lee Bell. I think she still acts. I don't know. I think they had a son too. Young and the Restless is still there. Bold and Beautiful is still there. I started watching that late 80s, but I stopped. But I try to catch up with the characters. Boy, they've changed like that. As for True Value, they filed for bankruptcy not too long ago, and I don't see that many around here in Chicago. They were all over the place. When I was growing up, on every corner, not every corner, but they had a lot of stores, lots of stores. And it was a good store. They had everything what you need, as a hardware store, like Ace Hardware Store. Over the years, it's changed, and the latest news was they filed for bankruptcy, and some rival company bought it. So I don't know. So they're independently owned all over the country. Like I said before, in Chicago, I don't see any. I don't know what happened to that. Someone suggested I do a podcast episode of that, and I should. I'll talk about my memories of True Value. Yeah, I'll consider it. Yeah. Maybe after the New Year. Okay. And also, one thing to mention, in the later years, she was not, the spokesperson was Pat Summerall, if you remember him. I think he's a sportscaster, or he played sports. I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with the man, so I used to see him all the time on TV. Okay. That's that. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about my recent health status, go a little further about that. Also, I will read off a sales advertisement from Children's Bargain Town. That was before Toys R Us. And it's from November 27, 1969. That'll be fun. I'll read it off and you can remember the toys they had on sale at that time. They were wonderful back then. All right. As you know, I posted the latest news about my health. My prostate cancer spread a little bit. I had the PET scan results. I got them in the email, but I didn't say anything because I didn't really understand what was going on. I had some sort of general idea. The thing was, my oncologist was on vacation for a week. I don't know why they didn't put in to fill in. I'm not going to do that. But he came back. I think he came back early, and he had a lot to catch up. So I called over there and see what's going on. And the secretary said, well, the receptionist, that is, she said, oh, he's very busy, but he'll contact you. But he called about a minute later, so that's good. He didn't explain to me a lot, but he explained to me, yeah, it has spread, but he predicted that. He knew that would happen because he told me he's seen that 100 times with patients that have this sort of thing. So he knows what he's talking about. It spread to the pelvis, like the humerus in the back part of the spine. Maybe not the liver, not really, but I'm not in pain, maybe a little bit. But once I take Tylenol, it's gone, so I'm okay. It's because my PSA shot up from 1.96 to 38. That's the last reading. I'm sure it's gone up higher since then. So he said, we got to put you in chemotherapy. I believe it is. So I'm thinking, well, do I have to go over there and lie down, have an IV, injected every time? It sounds awful, and then you try to find veins and all that. No, they found something very innovative and wonderful. They got a port. It's called a portacath. And I looked it up. The receptionist told me about this. She says, go look it up and see what it says. And I said, okay. I looked it up on Google and it explained everything. I go, oh, this is cool. So it is very convenient and very effective. So this is what's going to happen. Yesterday, the hospital called and they made an appointment for me on December 10th on a Tuesday to go in and have it implanted. I think in my chest, maybe the arm. I think the chest. It's the size of a bottle cap, and they will perform a surgery. They cut in, they make an incision. I don't know if I'll be awake. I probably will be or not. Maybe I'll get anesthesia, and it lasts about an hour. And it's an outpatient thing. I'll be out. I'll wake up. I'll be out, and then go home. Luckily, my mother and my brother will take me there, and they'll take me home, and I'll just recover. They said there's a little scar. There might be a scar, but you might feel a little discomfort, but there's no pain, which is awesome. Once they perform the surgery, they will inject the chemo, the medicine. I got to ask which one it is. I have an idea. It's probably the Pluvito or something else. I don't know. Anyway, so the nurse explained to me, you're going to be okay. So I have to carry this thing for a while, maybe months or years, until the chemo treatment's over. Then maybe, I think it's in cycles. I don't know, probably go in about a month or two. Then I'll inject more. And it depends how the treatment's going. And according to some people, I belong to a prostate cancer group, mostly men, of course. They tell me most of them have them. They have this, and they're doing wonderful. They're living longer. There's minimal side effects. Not really. My question is, it's chemo. Would I lose my hair? or get nausea, because that's the common side effects of that. It makes you sick. Some guys said yes, some guys said no. I don't know. So that's what I'm scared of. But, it's hair. It'll grow back. I'll look like a cue ball. But at least it'll. But I know for a fact, the guys have told me this really works, and it keeps your PSA down. I don't take Xtandi anymore. The doctor made a stop to that. He said no more. So I still take Orgovix in the morning, every day. The good news is there's no cancer around the prostate bed or the lymph nodes. Nothing at all. That's the good part. When I pee, I don't see blood. I'm not losing weight rapidly, so that's a good sign, But so the oncologist said, you better get this right away because it'll spread more, and we got to hurry up, put a stop to it. So I didn't like the news about that. I figured, because I had a lesion on my 10th rib, I think it didn't get all of it. I don't think so. I think maybe there was some remaining and it just pop up like popcorn. So my cancer is very, very sneaky and stubborn, and resilient. You can call it whatever you want. That's how it is. And it's nuts. So I don't like this news at all, but I was depressed a little bit. I cried, but I got over it, Then I thought, stop feeling sorry for myself and just beat this crap and just get it over with. And I'm doing that. And also, Tuesday is the 5th anniversary of when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and that was not a good day. It didn't hit me that day. It hit me much later. And it was during Christmas season. I was very sad. I cried and just wanted to be left alone. And then, I got thinking, I'm going to beat this. I told my family this, They were behind me 100%. We're going to fight this. We're going to fight this. I did not tell anybody what was going on, not for a month, because we decided that. And then I figured, someone's going to find out soon. So I made a video in January of 2021. I was going to do that. And so then it went crazy. Social media went nuts about this. So I've been posting updates ever since then. I was cancer-free for a while, then not, and then it's a roller coaster. That's what it is. It's a roller coaster of this. It goes up and down, up and down, up and down, like that. And then, so I've had good days, bad days, like that, but I just can't get a break. My cousin told me that a long time ago. You got to get a break on this. I'm trying. It's just awful. It's persistent. Hopefully this will work. I think it'll work. Yeah, I think so. And if PSA will go down, that's great. I don't know how long the treatment will last. I mentioned that before. No idea. I don't know. So it depends. The only thing I'm scared of is like when the doctor will tell me there's nothing we can do. And then that's it. That would put me over the edge. That was like, oh no. Because it does happen. It does happen. But men have lived long time, 10 years, 20 years. It's great. It's wonderful. It depends, and I mentioned last time, my brother had a friend. He was older than me. He had prostate cancer, but when he was diagnosed, he refused treatment. No surgery, nothing. Compared to me, I just wanted to get rid of it as soon as possible. I don't care. But he said, no. He just let it go. And then he got progressively worse. And then he finally relented and then did go see a doctor. I don't know if he had surgery or not, or had radiation. I think he did, but it was too late. It spread all over his body. There's nothing they could have done. So, I don't know. Then he died, which is the same. And Facebook went crazy like that. The man's been to my house, and he's a good friend of my brother. And so I hate hearing stories about that. That's what I'm scared of me. I hope this will work. I don't want to. I got too much going on in my life. I've been in Chicagoland. I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing something wonderful. Makes me happy. Makes everyone happy. Why have your life cut short on this, crappy disease? Just get rid of it. But there are advanced treatments as we speak. They find you new, do drugs and all that, and it's wonderful. It's great. And people are living longer. They really are. And cancer patients are living longer, so that's good. Also, I want to thank you for the comments and the messages. I really appreciate them. I'm very touched. And most of them almost all of them are positive. They say, just keep fighting. I hope everything goes well. I got it from family, friends, people I went to high school with, people I used to work with. I got comments from the media. It's wonderful. It's lovely. It really is. I also got comments from people who are, give me advice on some goofy stuff to do with this. I start laughing at this. I can't help it. Like, for example, avoid sugar altogether. I asked an oncologist about this, and he said, you can have a little, but don't have a half a dozen powdered donuts. No, which I've never done that in my life. I won't do that. Just have a little sugar, just a little bit, don't have a lot, just a little bit. Moderate. Moderation is the key, and I've been doing that. Also, they suggested like alternative medicine, holistic. I didn't understand that. Also, that infamous medicine, Intervectum. Is that what you call it? I can't pronounce it. Started by who. So, no. I don't want to buy something over, online that I don't trust or being suspicious. I don't want to, or listen to from the media. I don't think it's the media. I think it's from people who make up stories like that. So, no, I'm not going to do it. A couple of people told me, ditch your doctors, go to alternative medicine. No, I don't want to do that. I can't. I'm in good hands. I really am. I think this is the best way, because, cancer, it's an uphill battle. You have to deal with it. That's how it is. No one can be cured. It's treated. But if there was a cure, that'd be awesome. That really would be. But I don't know. I'm going to do what's best for me, and what my doctor's saying. What is best? So far, it's fine. I apologize to people who disagree with me, but that's too bad. It's I'm running my life. You don't run mine. I don't tell you what to do. I don't do that. I don't interfere. I don't, poke my nose in, butt in, or stuff like that. No. Okay. One last thing before I get started with the ad. I watched the TV special Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer that aired last night on NBC for the first time in many, many years, and I watched it in my living room. I have a big screen TV. It looked gorgeous. Oh, it looked beautiful. Also colorful and bright. Oh, it's lovely. And I've watched him every year, and I know it by heart. And so it's still on DVR. I'll probably watch it again. I probably will. I never liked it as a kid, not really, but now I just enjoy it, and how would I say this? I sort of respect it. I regretted saying that. Anyway, so I forgot one more thing. I bought a DVD of the show, but this is a little different. The DVD features the original commercials when it aired on December 6, 1964. And I bought it from a man. His name is Rick Goldsmith. I just think you've seen him on Facebook. He's like an aficionado of the show. He knows a lot about this show. He's talking to people involved with the show. He's got collectibles. He's a nice guy. I like him very much. And I bought it from him, and he said, you'll like it. It's like when you watch the DVD, it's like originally aired. So I did that a few times. Might do it again. And when I aired, it was called the General Electric Fantasy Hour, I believe. And so it has the program with the original commercials. It was in color, and but not the commercials. They're in black and white, and they featured the elves and the characters. That's kind of cool. So I'm going to watch it again. So it'll be fun. And so that's a Christmas tradition to me. Watch on TV, whatever is on the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and of course, It's a Wonderful Life. And I've also had my favorite movie, Christmas in Connecticut. I can't wait to watch that again. There's some great stuff to watch during the holidays. Yeah, so that was fun. That cheered me up. Okay, that's enough. Now we're going to go to the fun stuff. Okay, so I will take a break, and when I come back, I'm going to read off an ad from the wonderful Toyrific store, Children's Bargain Town. And it's an ad from November 29th, 1969. So sit back and relax, folks, and I'll be right back. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I'm back. I'm sorry I rambled on too long for this, but I felt that I should explain what's going on. And it felt very good to share it with you. If you listen to the podcast, you can skip this over if you like. But this is my podcast, and this is how I feel. This is very important to me. So right now, I'm going to read an advertisement from Children's Bargain Town. They were in Chicago. It was dated, I think, November 29th, 1969. I think it was after Thanksgiving. So this will be fun, And let me explain about Children's Bargain Town. I remember this as a kid. That store was magical. It was beautiful. You remember the guy with the hat and the big mouth, like this. So, and the slogan, it's Toyrific. And they used to advertise that store on Channel 9 a lot during, I believe, Bozo Circus and Ray Rayner. I don't know about Garfield Goose, maybe. I'm not sure. But I think mostly Bozo Circus. And I think Ringmaster Ned used to mention that. And they used to show commercials. And you remember the slogan when they had toys for sale, and it's Bargain Town, Bargain Town, Bargain Town. I remember that. Anyway, so I remember the store, and then about like the early 70s, some company bought them, and then they turned it to Toys R Us, and the rest was history. The Children's Bargain Town, the name of the company was still under that until maybe the 80s. They just dropped it. And I think the company started in Washington, D.C. That's what I remembered. So my memories of going to that store, there was one in the South Chicago neighborhood in, I think, 92nd Street and Houston Avenue, like that, near Goldblatt's. My mom used to go there when we lived in South Shore, she would take like the number 27 bus. It was a South Deering bus with us. And we used to go there, and we passed by that store, and I see that guy. And I remember a billboard on Commercial Avenue with that guy. And he was scared. It was a little scary to me when I was a kid, but no, it's nothing. But I wish it lasted longer. I wish it did, but oh well. I was wondering when I was a kid. I go, what happened to it? Well, anyway, so they opened a few stores. A couple on the north side. I think one was on Milwaukee Avenue, in the Logan Square neighborhood. One was on Lincoln Avenue up on the north side. I'm trying to think where else. One a lot of people remember was on 63rd Street and Cicero Avenue, right across from Midway. Not across from Midway, but near Midway Airport. The building's still there, but it's some sort of store. I forgot. It's Continental something. And they used to be. I would love to see an actual picture of that store or any from that. There, I think there's one in Milwaukee, and I think they opened one in Calumet City. Near River Oaks. I can't think of any other place. Anyway, so they were all converted to Toys R Us, and they opened one on 81st and Cicero. I used to go there a lot. I even applied for a job. I didn't get it about twice. I applied there, and they said, nah. There was also one in Woodfield, I believe, in the Woodfield neighborhood. I mean, in Schaumburg, the Woodfield Mall. And there's an advertisement I think I still have where Ray Rayner made an appearance. Cookie the Clown from Bill's the Circus did. Leonard Nimoy from Star Trek, Mr. Spock did that. They made appearances like that. As for Toys R Us, it did great business for a long, long time. Then it filed for bankruptcy, and then it disappeared. And then this year, maybe last year, it returned, but it returned to New Jersey as a small store. But this year, it returned as a full-fledged Morton Bricker store in the Harlem Irving Plaza, the hip. And they had a grand opening. Jeffrey the Giraffe was there. It's cute. And so they brought it back. And hopefully they'll open some more. I hope so. Buying toys online is not really fun. You have to go to a store, and it's walking down the aisle, and it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. It's like a wonderful feeling. I used to do that when I was a kid. When I visited the one in 81st and Cicero, I used to walk down the aisles. I saw the board games, the car, toy cars and all that. The board games were my favorite, and then electronic games came later, Atari and all that. I love it. That is a wonderful childhood memory of me. I've talked about Children's Bargaintown in a previous podcast episode. Excuse me. So I did that, and it's fun to browse. It's wonderful. You can still buy toys at Walmart, Target. It's not the same because it's a store. It's a discount store, and but it's not a toy store. You have to go to a toy store to buy these. So good that Toys R Us has returned. I know they opened a little store in Marshall Fields downtown. Well, Macy's, excuse me. Yeah. So they opened one in Macy's, I think, like a section. I think it's still there. It's got to be. I don't know about any other locations. I have no clue. So I'm glad it's back. I would love to take a ride to up in Norwich to see how it is. It won't be the same when I was a kid because toys have changed, So, but it's nice to go back, and it's very nostalgic. It gives you a nice, good feeling. Okay. Once I wrap up, before I wrap up the show, I'm going to read an advertisement, and that's that. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, here we go. There's about 8 pages. This was on sale. So let's see. You know what? Here's the locations. A few more locations that Children's Barkertown was in the area. Yeah, I mentioned there was one on North Lincoln Avenue that's near Damon. There's one in Milwaukee near Western. The one in 92nd and Commercial. There was also at Calumet City, 63rd and Cicero. Also, there was one in Melrose Park and on 9200 West North Avenue, and also on Milwaukee Avenue at Gulf Road in Niles. Oh, okay. And there was also one in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Okay. So most of the first page here, so on the page it says Toy-rific with that guy with the big mouth. So there were a lot of toys from Remco. You know, one was like Johnny Lighton toys. There was Tumbling Tomboy. They did that. There was the Remco drum set, the Lost in Space robot. Do you remember that? There was the Johnny Speedmobile dolls like Baby Crawler. Let's see what else. They had racing cars. There was also Fascination. Do you remember that game? It's an electric maze game like that. Okay. All right. Next one. Let's see what we got. Mostly it's dolls, or like baby buggies and stuff like doll houses and all that. Okay, third page. Here we go. Look at this. They had cassette tape recorders. Yeah, they had them. They started doing that. Remember, if you had a tape recorder, with a microphone. I remember the Brady Bunch episode with Peter Brady. He recorded everyone's conversation. That's hilarious. It's a classic. Also, they had transistor walkie-talkies. My dad bought me these for us. He bought a walkie-talkie. I don't know if you can find them anymore. I don't know. I have no idea. They had color by numbers. They had some books. They had the 2-speed phonographs. You remember those? Those little, you play records like that? Okay. Next up, we got Daytona road race sets, with the cars, they go round and round like that. Those were fun. I never owned those. No, I never did. Let's see what else. And they sold Tonka toys. There was a Tonka dump truck, beach buggies and all that. They had a chemistry lab. Remember those? I never owned a chemistry lab. No. All right. So next up, we got, they had electronic football games. Remember those? Also actual football, roller skates, hockey skates, and then the NHL hockey game, from Coleco. They had that. Also, they had Ants in the Pants. Remember that? Don't Break the Ice. And Spacewalk Mystery. I don't remember that. Oh, they had like Hasbro. Games from Hasbro. They had like Automatic Bowling Set, Magic Light. They also had a 60-inch pool table, a little pool table. We used to have a little pool table. My father brought that. That was fun because I love pool. Like that. Okay. Next up. This is what I like. They had the deluxe auto fire trucks, those little fire trucks. Little kids. Right now. They had a bouncing horse, a sled. Also, they had bicycles, Schwinn or what's that? Huffy bikes mostly for girls and boys, and tricycles. They had that. Okay. Next up, let's see. They also sold Christmas stuff. Like for example, they had artificial trees, tinsel. Nobody puts tinsel on their trees anymore. I don't think so. Lights, from General Electric, light set, comes in one color, they're monochromatic or different colors. Metallized icicles, you hang them there. Fancy ornaments, they're probably glass or satin balls like that. Also, they had wrapping paper, some with Disney characters or Christmas cards. Nobody sends Christmas cards anymore, except my mom. She does that. She loves doing that. Also, they had like appliances, toy appliances, an oven, supermarket, a vanity set, Susie homemaker ice cream maker, and a regular oven, a Johnny Eagle target shooter, and Happy Harry the laughing robot. This is a robot. He's a toy robot that laughs. Okay. Now we're on the last page. And they had, let's see, a play desk, Rock'em Sock'em Robots. They had, Puncho, those punchy bags, like little that go up and down, like Romper Brood had them. Also, they had things from Bozo the Clown. They had toy instruments. Also, they had a payphone, like a toy payphone. Yeah, payphones are gone. they don't exist. We got cell phones now. Smartphones, that is. Okay. So that was fun. Like I said, toys have changed. They really have. Now you can play them on your iPad, your iPhone, your desktop. It's not the same. No. It's convenient, but it's not the same. Okay. Whew. Okay, so that's it for this show. I'm sorry to exhaust you on this, but I felt this was very important to me. So here's a recap of what I talked about. I talked about my recent health status, and then I read an advertisement from the toy store, Children's Bargain Town. They were located in the Chicagoland area. Bargain Town. Okay. This podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Breaker, Overcast. Also be on my blog. It'll be published there. You can. It's on www.vanchicagoland.blog. Click on the link. Take you right there. Also be shared on my YouTube channel again and again. People always ask me, where do I find your podcast? Where do I find your podcast? You can find it on YouTube. Do a search, Van Chicagoland Stories, with the podcast if you want. You'll find me. Or my name, Pete Costanis. Click on subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. You can listen to the latest episodes. Also from the apps I mentioned. You tap on those. Tap follow, you'll get the latest notifications, the latest episodes. You can listen to previous episodes you like. Same thing with the YouTube channel. So if you subscribe, you'll be notified. And also be shared on my social media accounts, Facebook, X, Reddit, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky. What a show. Okay. I'll probably do another podcast episode tomorrow. Something a little more uplifting. I promise. We'll do that. It'll be fun. Because it's Christmas. We want to have this is a happy occasion. And I'm trying to be happy, but this is a happy occasion. Okay. So, this is Pete Costanis, your host for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope I didn't, I hope you were very patient of listening to me. And again, I want to thank everyone for their comments and messages. I really appreciate it. I love you all. God bless us all, and keep me in my prayers. I'm praying every day. So today's a nice day. I heard it's warmer. Maybe I'll go for a walk. We'll see. I heard this weekend's going to be beautiful. And so here's bye-bye for me, and here is the one and only Ray Rayner with some traveling music saying saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.